Afternoon. Hi friends, this is Alok Oja. Welcome to StudyIQ IAS English. We are going through Modern Indian History series, and by now we have covered multiple topics and dynamic topics of modern Indian history. Correct? So in today's session, we are going to discuss two major topics, that is Poona Pact and Gandhi's Harijan campaign. The session is not longer, it is just 25 to 30 minutes session. But the session is quite important because it actually depicts the philosophy of Mahatma Gandhi. Correct? So now, the students or the aspirants who are new to the platform, let me tell you one important thing. I have covered many topics of ancient India, particularly ranging from prehistoric culture to the Gupta age, and many topics of modern India, particularly ranging from the important governor generals and so on YouTube. So you can go through the previous videos and you can download the PDF of the session from the Telegram channel history_Alok Oja. I repeat, history_Alok Oja. Okay? Again, before I begin with Poona Pact and Gandhi's Harijan campaign, I'll again tell you certain events from the past so that the aspirants who are new to the platform and the aspirants who are attending the session previously also, they can correlate different aspects and things. Got it, guys? Now, before I start with the Poona Pact, okay? Before I start with the Poona Pact, I'll tell you something about the Simon Commission. We'll discuss something about Nehru Report and so on. Like it is believed that as per Government of India Act 1919, also referred as Montego-Chelmsford reforms, there was a clause that after 10 years or a decade, we are going to come up with a commission in India which will review the working of the entire structure of the specifically Government of India Act 1919. The commission came up in 1927. It was a heavily criticized commission and it was referred as Simon Commission. The chairman of the commission was Sir John Simon, and there were many other Englishmen as a part of the commission, correct? Like Clement Attlee, Edward Cadogan, and so on. Now, why it was heavily criticized commission? Because all the members of the commission were Englishmen. Now, wherever Simon Commission went in India, it was greeted with black flag and the slogans were being raised, Simon, go back. Correct? Either it be Vijayawada, Pune, Bombay, Lahore, Lucknow, Calcutta, wherever it went. Now comes the Nehru Report. Lord Birkenhead, at that time the Secretary of State for India, challenged the Nationalists of India to make their own constitution. But the deadline would be 31st of December 1929. And at that time, what happened? The deadline got over. And there was also Jinnah's 14-point plan. Particularly in 1929, a session was held at Lahore. And on 26th Jan 1930, Purna Swaraj Day was being observed. Purna Swaraj resolution was being drafted by Mahatma Gandhi. And now, before initiating the civil disobedience movement, specifically, Mahatma Gandhi gave 11-point ultimatum to the Britishers. These ultimatum fell on a deaf ear. It hardly had any impact or any effect on the Britishers. Now, M.K. Gandhi launched the Dandi March. He launched the famous Dandi March from the Sabarmati Ashram and he took a vow. He took a pledge. Until and unless I gain independence for India, I won't be coming back to Sabarmati Ashram. Finally, he had to settle in Wardha Ashram because he could not get independence for India during the civil disobedience movement. M.K. Gandhi launched the Dandi Yatra. He broke the salt law. He took the salt at Dandi and said, with this I shake the foundations of British Empire in India. And then civil disobedience movement became a pan-India movement. At that time, from 1930 to 32, Britishers were running round-table conferences in London. And for the first time, Indians and Britishers were sitting as equals. There were many political parties which participated in the round-table conference. All India Muslim League, represented by Muhammad Ali Jinnah. Depressed section, represented by B.R. Ambedkar. Unionist of Punjab, and so on. The first roundtable conference, it had Indian leaders, 57 Indian leaders. And there were 16 leaders from the different political parties in England. That is Liberal, Labour and Conservative Party. Specifically speaking, in the second roundtable conference, Indian National Congress participated because prior to this, there was Gandhi-Irwin Pact. And as a part of Gandhi-Irwin Pact, specifically, it was decided that Mahatma Gandhi will represent Indian National Congress in second roundtable conference and temporarily suspend the civil disobedience movement going on in India. Okay? And on the other hand, Lord Irwin accepted many other conditions of Mahatma Gandhi except one condition, or saying two conditions, that the commutation of the death sentence of specifically Bhagat Singh ji, Rajguru ji and Sukhdev ji. And second thing that Lord Irwin did not accept was police inquiry into the proper impartial inquiry into the police excesses that have been done at that time. Mahatma Gandhi participated in second roundtable conference. At that time, Britishers said specifically, Congress alone did not represent the entire British India. There are many political parties that represent the entire British India. But Mahatma Gandhi said, Congress alone represents British India. Many criticizers, many historians believe that Mahatma Gandhi came back to pavilion on duck. Second roundtable conference was held in an inauspicious environment. The third roundtable conference was held. In fact, the Congress was not invited to the third roundtable conference. And the number of delegates were approximately around 46 to 47. And finally, Communal Award was being announced. In very simple words, in very simple language, what is Communal Award? Communal Award basically means, as we had discussed previously, as per Morley-Minto reforms, separate electorate was given to the Muslims in 1909. The same was extended to Sikh, Anglo-Indians, Europeans as per Government of India Act 1919, also referred as Montego-Chelmsford reforms. And now Britishers, they gave a separate electorate to the depressed section of the Indian society, led by B.R. Ambedkar. B.R. Ambedkar was an active participant in all the three roundtable conferences. Correct? So now, particularly speaking, Britishers announced the famous Communal Award. After the failure of the second roundtable conference, Mahatma Gandhi came back to India and he started again, or he revived back, the civil disobedience movement. After the announcement of Communal Award, Mahatma Gandhi heard about this. And there was a pact that was being signed between Mahatma Gandhi and B.R. Ambedkar. And that pact is referred as Poona Pact. Correct? Now, why this Poona Pact was being signed? Now, basic thing that we need to understand, right from the start of the sessions, correct, of modern India, as I've told you, Britishers have always played dual card in India. Divide and rule, and second, carrot and stick policy. Initially, they tried to divide India on communal lines, hurting the communal fabric of the country in the form of partition of Bengal. Isn't that so? In 1905, the partition of Bengal was being announced by Lord Curzon on the pretext that Bengal has become too big to be administered by a single viceroy. But what was the actual intrinsic agenda? What was the actual hidden agenda? To divide the Bengal on communal lines, because West Bengal was a Hindu majority province and East Bengal was a Muslim majority province. True? Again, Simon Commission played another important card, and that card was of regionalism, and regionalism is an antidote to nationalism. True? Same card again they are playing here. Mahatma Gandhi, M.K. Gandhi, he believed in one important concept, and he believed that we should go for root eradication of untouchability, which has actually crept the mind of the people in the Indian society. So our agenda should be root eradication of untouchability. And by giving the Communal Award, Britishers are trying to, what we say, create differences within the Hindu society itself. Correct? So our major, by giving separate electorate to Muslim, as per separate electorate to, depressed section, the issue of untouchability won't be resolved. So major thing here is to resolve the issue of untouchability. At that time, Mahatma Gandhi was in Poona, Yerawada jail, and he went on fast unto death. This was heard by B.R. Ambedkar, and B.R. Ambedkar was under tremendous pressure. So at this time, Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya, also referred as Mahamana, I repeat, Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya, also referred as Mahamana by M.K. Gandhi and Rabindranath Tagore, and M.C. Raja, they sorted out the differences between Mahatma Gandhi and the B.R. Ambedkar, which resulted in the form of Poona Pact. Okay? Now, what is Poona Pact all about? Let's understand. It was signed between B.R. Ambedkar ji and Mahatma Gandhi. And now specifically, let's understand about this. Communal award gave total number of 71 seats as a part of separate electorate to the depressed section in different provincial legislatures. Like there were different provinces, like there was Bengal, Bombay, Madras, Assam, Burma, Punjab, United Provinces, Central Provinces, and so on. So in total, there were total number of 71 seats as a part of separate electorate for depressed classes as per communal award. But as per Poona Pact, 148 seats were being reserved particularly for the depressed section. Apart from this, 18% of the total seats in central legislature were for the depressed classes. Correct? I'll give you a small example, a very small example. We had seen Government of India Act 1919, also referred as Montego-Chelmsford Reform. As per Government of India Act 1919, diarchy was introduced in the provinces and bicameralism was introduced in the center. There were two houses, true, Central Legislative Assembly synonymous with present day Lok Sabha and Council of States synonymous with present day Rajya Sabha. In Central Legislative Assembly, total number of seats were 145. And in Rajya Sabha, rather than saying Rajya Sabha, Council of States, the total number of seats were 60. Out of 145, 104 were elected and 41 were nominated. And out of 60, 33 were elected and 27 were nominated. So, particularly speaking, the total number of elected seats here were 137 seats. 104 plus 33. So, as per this clause, 18% of the elected seats would be reserved for whom in the central legislature? For the depressed section. Apart from this, there would be proper representation given to the depressed section in civil services, in the government jobs. Correct? Now, educational upliftment is a route to, or education is a route to overall upliftment. How? Because educational upliftment is co-linked to economic upliftment. Economic upliftment is co-linked to social upliftment. And social upliftment is co-linked to political upliftment. Simple words, education is the key to overall upliftment. So as per Poona Pact, certain amount of educational grants would be utilized for the educational upliftment of the depressed section. So these were the certain major features of particularly the Poona Pact. Again, also the point is clear. And immediately after signing the Poona Pact, All India Untouchability League was started by Mahatma Gandhi. So this is majorly about the Poona Pact of Mahatma Gandhi. Hope so the Poona Pact is clear, guys. Okay. Now let's talk about Gandhi's Harijan campaign. Now what is Gandhi's Harijan campaign all about? Let's understand. Who coined the term? I have a question to you guys. Answer in the comment section. In fact, I would be answering by the end of the session itself. But still, take a wild guess. Who coined the term Harijan? Is it Mahatma Gandhi? Guys, we'll explore about this. Okay. Now, after the Poona Pact, Mahatma Gandhi from Yerawada jail itself, he started All India Untouchability League. And as I have told you particularly, that after civil disobedience movement, Mahatma Gandhi did not settle in Sabarmati Ashram. In fact, he settled at Ashram, which is in Wardha Ashram, which is basically near Nagpur. That is in present day Maharashtra. Okay, now he started Harijan campaign from the Wardha ashram and he toured the entire country sensitizing the masses across different towns, across different cities, across different villages. And he undertook 2 to 3 major fasts for what we say creating seriousness about his campaign. Now, he said that the basic thing that I actually wanted to do here is eradicate untouchability from the minds of the people. Correct? If untouchability dies, Hinduism lives. And if Hinduism has to live, untouchability has to die. In simple words. And in that case, no Shastras sanction specifically untouchabilities. Shastras don't sanction untouchability, and if they do, we can ignore those Shastras. He faced a lot of opposition at that time from the fanatical Hindu section, but still he kept on doing this work. He also used the word Harijan, correct? And the term Harijan was being coined by a Gujarati Bhakti saint whose name was Narsingh Mehta. I repeat, the term was being used by a Gujarati Bhakti saint whose name was Narsingh Mehta, and Harijan basically means children of God. Correct? Now, there have been many socio-religious reformers in India who have played a very major role in sensitizing the masses against the caste system, against the untouchability prevalent at that time. And particularly, one of the best example for this is Swami Vivekanand ji, whose original name was Narendranath Dutt. I'll share one of the examples, or I'll share one of the stories associated with Narendranath Dutt ji. As a sannyasi, Narendranath Dutt, he traveled across different places in India. He traveled to the places of Himalayas, he traveled to the places of Rajasthan and so on. And he had a lot of fan following among the people. People used to keenly listen to his ideas. One fine day, Vivekanand ji, he was in the region of Rajasthan. And when he was in the region of Rajasthan, for the next continuously 3 days at railway station, there were many people who gathered around him and they used to listen to him for hours. And since the philosophy of Swami Vivekanand ji was based on Vedantic philosophy, that is the philosophy of Upanishads, people used to keenly and in a very interesting manner listen to Swami Vivekanand ji for hours. Okay. Now, on the 3rd day came a person, and that person said to Swami Vivekanand ji, I have been observing since past 3 days that you are continuously speaking, you are giving your philosophical testaments to the people, but you haven't had even a single drop of water, first thing, and secondly, you haven't had certain food. Aren't you hungry? Swami Vivekanand ji said, yes, I am hungry. The person said, I have few chapatis, but there's one problem. So Swami Vivekanand ji was astonished. He said, what's the problem? He said that I am a cobbler and I belong to the downtrodden section of the society. And in that case, I have offered you certain chapatis. If the Maharaja comes to know about this, in that case, he can give me what we say death penalty. I could be executed. Swami Vivekanand ji said, don't worry, it's not an issue. No one would be telling the Maharaja, first thing. The cobbler comes up with few chapatis and he offers him to Swami Vivekanand. There was a wealthy merchant who was passing by, and this wealthy merchant particularly saw the cobbler giving few chapatis to Swami Vivekanand ji. And this wealthy merchant used to listen to the teachings of Swami Vivekanand. Now this wealthy merchant stops there and says to Swami Vivekanand ji, don't you think so it is not ethical to have specifically the food cooked by such a person? This is completely wrong. What a beautiful reply given by Swami Vivekanand ji to that person. And particularly, what was that reply given by Swami Vivekanand ji? For the past 3 days, you are listening to my words. Did you care about giving me some food? Did you offer me some food knowing that I was hungry? Because I was continuously speaking for the past 3 days. You hardly cared about it. The person who was observing from a different place, he came here and offered me a food. Is he a human or are you a human? Humanity lies with this person, not with you. So specifically here, there have been multiple examples about Swami Vivekananda ji as well. Like it's a very beautiful thing. Like I'll give you another important example about Swami Vivekananda ji. I was reading one of his books. So I got this example in that book. Like Swami Vivekananda ji was asked in Europe, like about his dressing pattern, that like it is believed that I have heard that India is a country of fakirs and saints. Okay. And he, in a sarcastic manner, he said these words and he started laughing because of the Swami Vivekananda ji's attire. What a beautiful reply given by Swami Vivekananda ji. And he said that maybe in your country, tailor makes a gentleman, but in our country, character makes a gentleman. What a deep answer given by Swami Vivekananda ji. Correct? So the same role here was being played by Mahatma Gandhi in sensitizing the masses against untouchability. Here he faced criticism from lot of orthodox Hindus at that time, but still he kept on doing the good work for them. He coined the term Harijan, that is, he used the word Harijan, that is means children of God. The people who are discarded by the society and accepted by God. Harijan. Hari means God. Jan means people. And this term was being coined by Gujarati Bhakti saint Narsingh Mehta. Correct? So this was majorly about the Poona Pact and Gandhi's Harijan campaign. Hope so you understood the points, guys. As I have told you right from the start of the session itself, the session won't be much longer. It is just 25 to 30 minutes session. Probably much less than that as well. Correct. But these things are important from the exam perspective. Okay. So guys, the foundation batch has already started. And in that case, this batch has beautiful facilities like Prelims and Mains Residential Program, rupees 11,000 reward to the top monthly performers. Apart from this, full refund of the fees once you qualify the prelims, and interview guidance program is a key feature of this foundation batch. Okay. You can use the code that is flashing on your screen, Alok Live, and you can download the PDF of this session from my Telegram channel, history_Alok Oja. Now, before I stop my session for the day, let me ask you 2 to 3 questions, as I do usually in every sessions. Okay. Please do answer about these questions in the comment section. What was the role played by Michael John Carrot during the independence movement? He's a European officer. He's a spy. He's a lecturer. So what was the role played by an Englishman, Michael John Carrot, in India's independence? Apart from this, my second question. The second question is specifically, if Swadeshi movement was very successful, why did the Swadeshi movement fizzle out? Okay. And my third major question is, how did Gandhian ideology propagate? How was the Gandhian ideology propagated in the different movements across the country? Because as we have seen, the Indian National Congress has went through different phases. From 1885 to 1905, the phase was dominated by the moderates, then by the extremists. In between, there were certain revolutionaries as well. But from 1915 onwards, the Indian National Congress was being driven by the ideology of Mahatma Gandhi, which is based on Satya and Ahimsa. How justified is this statement? Answer in the comment section, guys. So with this, I stop my words. See you guys very soon. Thank you and have a wonderful day.